fit the mold of us being successful. And, sometimes that's not 24 shots for me. And I'm perfectly okay with it as long as we're winning. But, in a game like tonight with Joel's out, it's a game to be more aggressive and get the looks that I want for our team. But all throughout being decisive, that's something that Doc says. After any game, he says that. So that's something for me that I'm always continuing to get better at, is being decisive, coming off of pick and rolls and making quick decisions, smart decisions for the squad. So, it's a tough loss to take, but, all in all, I think that we were out there fighting for each other tonight, and we got to go back home and we have to get a quick days of rest and be ready for our game at home and get on a win streak here.
Speaking of playing for each other, Ben was one rebound shy of a 40-point triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
How impressed were you with the way that he played tonight?
Man, from the start of the game, he was just on a mission out there. And you just saw another element of his game, I think, even being at the 5 and being a roller and how fast he was rolling to the basket. And that opened up the floor for everybody pretty much out there tonight. But his pace and his ability, having a Gobert on him, a center, and to get in a lot of screens, but then to also be aggressive offensively, it was pretty amazing. Obviously, would have been better to get a win and have a 40-point triple-double, but we just had to save that for another time.
I think we'll do two more here. Tim and then Paul. Tim, go ahead.
Tobias, kind of along those lines, what was it about Ben today that caused him to be so aggressive? I know obviously you talked about the space he had playing center going up against Gobert, but I don't know if he's ever been that aggressive in a game before. Is that a circumstance of Joel being out? Is it the way he was playing? Is it something else? Like, what do you think caused him to be able to come out and really make that kind of an impact right away?
I think it was just a combination of all those things. And Ben's a guy, he pretty much evaluates the game from as he's playing. And you could see in the beginning of the game, he knew that he can get by those guys with his speed. And we just started finding some different ways to get him involved. But you saw it was a game where he was also, I saw kind of him working on some things, and I was getting in the post and using his body down there versus guys that aren't as big as him and shooting over him. So there's just an evolution of his game continuing to come together game after game. But he also just had that mindset that he wanted to do whatever he could to help us win tonight, and that was more than anything.
Thank you. Last one, Paul Woodard.
Hey, Tobias. The one thing it seems like you've done really well, and it seems like you're kind of in a really good group with, is your dribble drive game, and then kind of knowing when to kind of pull up for that floater or go all the way into the basket. Is it something that you think that you worked on, or is it just you're just kind of in a good rhythm with it right now and reading it well? Like what kind of has led to that?
Just reading the pick and roll. I mean, anytime the big is able to get a piece of the guy who's guarded me, that opens up the lane for me to shoot that pull-up jumper and get downhill. Obviously, when you got a shot blocker like Rudy Gobert out there, you got to kind of change it up a little bit. But for me, once the big is able to screen and roll to the basket and put pressure on defense, it opens up the court. And then, next phase of that is just making kick-out plays for shooters. And we'll get to that. But that's always been a part of my game that I've been really good at, is in the pick and roll. And, with more volume of those plays and shots, it's only building more and more confidence for me.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks, LeBron.
All right, no problem.